On signing day that you weren't going to comment on reports about possible transfer options at quarterback, but when those things are out there, how do you manage that with your quarterbacks currently on the team, especially a guy like Tate, who's been in the program for a few years, and if Dwayne were to move on, he seemed like he'd be not next in line, but positioned well to start next year?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be speculation, especially here at Ohio State. I think, like I said, the interest level that's out there right now in terms of quarterback play here is as high as I think it's ever been. I think everybody's really excited about that, and so we have to make sure that we're not on social media and all those things. But it all starts with Dwayne. When he comes back and he makes a decision, then we go from there.
Did you have to, I don't know, smooth things over at all with Tate or Matthew when there is that stuff being reported?
No. I think that there was always constant communication about their future here and what we think of them and where they are. I think that's a huge part of coaching, is making sure you're constantly talking to the quarterbacks, or any position for that matter, about where they are and where their expectations are moving forward. So there's always communication.
And what have you thought of Tate's preparation here in bowl practice the last few weeks?
I think it's been very good. I think that he understands the game plan like he always does. It's hard when you're not playing to constantly do a good job preparing, even though you're not getting on the field. It can be frustrating at times, but he's done an excellent job with that this year.
Ryan, what would you say? How has he developed as your team? And would you feel comfortable based on what you've seen this year in his development with him potentially being the starting quarterback next year?
I think that again, when you're not playing all the time, it is hard because you're preparing, you're getting the game plan down, you're practicing, in practice, and you are getting reps with twos, so that's a little bit frustrating. But I think he's done a very, very good job of that all season, kind of managing that as we go. He's gotten better each week, and so if he gets called on in the game, he's going to be ready to go.
Is Dwayne as good a passer as you've coached NFL or college?
I compare him to Matt Ryan and Sam Bradford. Those are the two guys I've been around that are in that same category right there, where their anticipation, their accuracy, the way the ball comes off of their hand. I'd compare him to those two guys.
And could you give your impression of Matthew's development? I mean, obviously, he's the guy that you recruited and brought him in when he was under the radar for quite a while. What have you seen from his progress and how ready he might be next year?
It's hard to say how ready he'll be because the knee, it's there, but he hasn't been able to really do much with the knee. So the spring will be obviously a huge kind of bar on where he is in his development. He's done an excellent job in the meeting room when he's on the field trying to get mental reps and those type of things. But in terms of throwing him out there to the fire right now, he's still not quite ready for that. But this spring he'll have that opportunity.
What's been Urban's message when he gets that team together before or after? What's the morsel you take from that, or is it just the same talking points?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're here for a reason. This is a team that's been through a lot this year. We want to finish it the right way. Finish the right way for Coach Meyer and finish the right way for these seniors. They deserve that. They've started out strong, and when now it's time to finish this thing strong, with a lot of pride, and playing for the guy next to you, playing for your brother. It's really, really important.
Ryan, how's Master Teague look so far during bowl prep, both in Columbus and here?
He's gotten stronger as the season gone on. He's gotten stronger. He's a big, powerful back who just needs to get more and more reps. The more reps he gets, the more aware he is in protection, understanding kind of who he has to block and some of the blitz patterns. But he is a downhill back that if you can get him to the second level, he's a home run hitter.
I know he's played in 4 games this year. I think he's played in 4 games this year. So if he plays in the Rose Bowl, that means he'll be a sophomore next year. If he doesn't play, he'll be a redshirt freshman. Is that a concern at all, or even anything in your mind?
It is.
Okay.
It is, yeah. And we have DeMario, too, as a third back if we need to. So if we need to play him, he's got to be ready to go. But we'd also like to get the year for him.
Hey, I know you've been asked this a few times.
Yeah.
What's the status of Brian Snead? I know that he's been suspended, but I don't know if you have an update about, but is he going to be on the team this year?
Yeah, I don't have an
I'm trying to ask this, but it's now a matter of days before you take the program. The reality of that hits you yet. It's not just kind of weeks and you're going to put out your mind.
Right.
It's going to be your program on Wednesday.
Right.
What's your thought process? When you think about that, what goes through your mind?
Well, it's something that I've known now for a little bit of time. So there's been a transition and a build up to that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are going through my mind and things that are in place so that we can get going. The guys get back on the 7th, and the plan is to have a team meeting right there and go forward. But the good news is, there's been some time to think about that, reflect on it, and kind of charge up the batteries and get ready to roll.
Hey Ryan, is it like you're going to be more of a podium guy than a chair guy? Right?
I don't know. Whatever they give me.
What's the first thing you want to do on Wednesday?
In
The
terms of
first day you're a head coach, what's the first thing you want to do?
Yeah, I don't know if it's one thing. I think you just kind of go in and you understand you have a list of things you need to get done. You just go about the business and start it off.
When that office becomes your office, is that you thought about that? You're going to have Urban's office.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
Has he moved out yet?
No, he hasn't.
Maybe a few days.
Measure for drapes.
You don't have as much stuff as he does, right? I mean, how are you going to fill that thing?
Well, that was Christmas. I got a lot of stuff for Christmas. The family members gave me a lot of stuff, a lot of pictures, a lot of things for Buckeyes to when they come in there, recruits they can see, and so I'll build it up as we go.
Hey, Ryan, one of your players who will remain nameless just said it's pretty cool to see a 50-year-old out there running around with us, referring to you. I had to inform him you're 39. Is it because you're going to miss that, right? You're not going to be able to get in there and do those drills. Have you thought about that? I mean, kind of how that's going to change, and how important is that to you being successful, is being among the guys and doing the drills?
I want to keep that going, though. Yeah, like I said, I really want to stay involved with the offense. I really want to stay involved in the coaching and day-to-day stuff. I really don't want to change that. I don't think I have to as we go. And there'll be, there'll be shifts and movements as we go to find out what the right rhythm is for the team at the time and the staff. But I want to continue that because I think that's what's given me the opportunity to be in this situation, and I don't want to change that.
How challenging is it physically to be going through drills? I mean, you have a smile on your face most of the time, but you got to be aches and pains.
No, it's not bad. Like, I don't know who said that, but I'm only 39, so I still got enough energy with me. People have called me an old soul, but definitely not 50 years old.
Are there things you picked up in bowl prep? Are you taking notes on how you're going to do it down the line? Are there other things?
But I've done that for the last 10 years. I have a book of things that I've learned. Just kind of that was my head coaching book over here. Yeah. And I'm going to use that as a reference as always. But same thing this year, going through and talking about practice 1, practice 2, how we handle Christmas, how we handle the breaks, how we handle the practice when we're on site, how we handle the guys checking in the curfew, all those things that come with organizing the team. Kind of go over here in a bank. And then we're going to utilize, the guys on our staff, Brian Voltolini, Quinn Temple, and the guys that are here currently. And the infrastructure we have, they're excellent at that. And they have a long list of examples to use.
How long have you had the head coaching book?
It probably goes back a decade. I've wanted to be a head coach ever since I started coaching, and so I started taking notes a long time ago.
Ryan, the video you guys put out on signing day of you and Urban playing the video game, how did they approach you for that, and what did you think of how it turned out?
Well, Zach Schwartz, who heads up the creative team that we have, came up with the idea, and it was their idea to make it look like the video game, and then at the end he came up with this idea that he wanted to have Urban hand off the sticks or whatever they call them to me. And so it took a few takes. It was a little awkward. Sometimes it's easier when you're just talking in an interview as opposed to things that are scripted.
Yeah.
But it actually took about 3 or 4 takes, and we really liked the idea. We thought it was really neat, and I think the reaction was really well taken.
Are you a video game guy? Have you ever played like PlayStation or Xbox or anything like that before?
My son is into video games now, so every once in a while I'll try to play them, and I get humbled quick.
Ryan, is there a sense that this year especially that you have worked with an elite quarterback? I think I've asked you this a couple of times probably already, but I mean, just, obviously now the take is that if Dwayne comes out, he might be the highest rated quarterback in the draft and stuff, but just what is your sense? What have you seen? Obviously you've been on the pro level, et cetera. You know what they expect up there, but what is your sense of him and his readiness, et cetera, and have you been working with an elite guy?
That's a good question. I think that Dwayne has come a long way in a year. I think that when you look at his skill set, it's in line with a lot of those guys that, the Matt Ryans and Sam Bradfords and Alex Smith. He has a lot of those traits. There is a certain level of preparation, a certain level of physical readiness, a certain level of experience that's required to be successful at that level. And, that's something that I take a lot of pride in, is that we recruit quarterbacks. We talk about how we're going to get you ready to go play in the NFL. Every meeting that you step into is going to be like an NFL meeting, because that's what was done before when I was coaching in the NFL. So I think in terms of protections, understanding defensive structures, all those things. I think he's really close. I think, you know, the whole package together is something that he and his family have to decide on.
You know, as you've studied Washington, the linebacker, Ben Burke-Irvin, does he jump out at you? I mean, 165 tackles.
Yeah. He jumps out because he's on every play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right there every time. He's a really good player. He diagnoses plays at a high level, and so plays really, really hard. You can tell he is kind of the heartbeat of that whole defense. He's what makes that defense go. And the big guys up front eat up a lot of blocks, and he runs to the ball and makes tackles. They're tough. They make you work the ball down the field, and they're really well coached.
The word around too is that, you know, you've heard it, that they have maybe the best secondary overall in the country. Do you see that as you study video? I mean, what just stands out about that group?
Yeah, very, very talented. You know, highly regarded around the country. And talking to guys who played against them, they again diagnose plays. They break on the ball. Really good cover skills. So maybe one of the best secondaries we've seen all year.
And last thing for me is Coach Meyer head coaching all the way, head coaching to the end?
Yeah, he is.
Follow my drive. And what does that mean?
It means his business as usual all the way to the end.
Yeah.
He's coaching the coaches. He's coaching the players all the way to the end, just like you would expect him to.
Hey Ryan, just Dwayne's mental capacity and his understanding of defenses and understanding of your offense.
Yeah.
How has that progressed over the year? And then just like, where is he in the context of quarterbacks? How he is with that part of it?
Yeah, I think if you asked JT that question 2 years ago, he probably have laughed. You know, I mean, where he's come in 2 years is amazing. He's really matured in that area. We just kind of talked about, you know, it's the protection, it's the defensive structure, it's understanding the coverages and the timing and the progressions. He's done a great job of that. And, you know, how far along is he in that? That's something that he and his family have to decide.
Ryan, when you're evaluating quarterbacks, how does your philosophy on priorities for skill set compare with Urban's?
Oh, very much in line. Yeah, our philosophy in that area is, you know, competitive toughness, leadership, decision-making skills. Those are all the things that we look for in a quarterback. Not necessarily in there is you know, how tall they are, how well they throw the ball. I mean, that's obviously part of it, but it's more about all those other things, the intangibles.
Do you buy the idea that with you as the head coach, you guys will rely on guys who are more throw first than run first, as so many of his guys have been in the past?
Well, I think that a lot of those guys, you know, were kind of guys that he had, you know, like Braxton Miller, and you know, some of those guys he inherited, you know, and so when you look back at Alex Smith and Chris Leak, you know, in his past, he had a lot of quarterbacks who throw first as well. So I don't think that that's the case at all. I think we're going to look for somebody with extraordinary traits and then build a team around them.
What do you think your offense will look like compared to what this offense has been? Do you plan to tweak it at all? I mean, after you go for the spread, you came up with Chip Kelly. How do you think the offense will look like next year?
I think it starts with the quarterback, and based on the quarterback's skill set, what gives us the best opportunity to be successful. I think that you have to evolve with the game as well. I think you can't be stagnant in terms of this is what we run, this is our offense. Well, you have to kind of evolve with the times and stay on top of it. So we'll be studying NFL teams, we'll be studying teams in the Big Ten, teams in the SEC, teams in the Pac, all across the country, and figure out what are the new trends in offenses, what gives defenses trouble, and then marry that up with who our quarterback is, who our line is, and how our skill guys fit in.
One question about Michael Jordan. Obviously, kind of took one for the team this year, switching from guard to center. How do you think he played? And if he comes back, I mean, the assumption is he'd go back to guard next year?
Yeah. That's something that you know, we're going to have some discussions with he and his family this week before the game, but that would be the plan. And I can't say enough about what he did this year. You step into that role, somebody his size too, and how well he did, and making first, you know, All-American, you know, awards. I mean, can't say enough about his unselfishness.
Would Josh? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and then you know, and Josh would be a guy that would look at center. You know, and we've actually worked at. You know, Malcolm Pridgeon had a finger in bowl practice, so you know, we worked on some of those changes, and Josh has really improved this year. So that would be a nice, nice move for us to move Josh to center and then Mike over to guard.